Hare Krishna. I have a question of something that you just kind of touched upon before. How nowadays, in broader society and within ISKCON now, everyone is trying to be equal. And I was thinking about it, and I would like to ask you, how can we practice Krishna consciousness and do kirtan and in the mood of Lord Chaitanya without all of this like physical and emotional aspects kind of clouding it? And not that we can't have emotions in the sense of having heart in Krishna consciousness and spiritual emotions, but I feel that nowadays sometimes it's a disturbance or a distraction, and that it kind of takes over. The conversations become all about that instead of actually talking about Krishna consciousness and Mahaprabhu and how we're supposed to actually practice. And it becomes all about these things, which are very much on the bodily concept of life. And we are in these human bodies, so maybe we do have to talk about it a little bit, but how can we have these actual deeper conversations and practice in such a way where it doesn't overburden it? And maybe even now everyone's trying to include everyone in everything, and everyone's equal and all of these things. What are your thoughts?
No, it's a fact. Tavakatamrita. That talking about that ultimately Krishna consciousness is talking about Krishna. How much do we really spend our time in speaking about Krishna's pastimes? Of course, Krishna's philosophy is in the same category. Chanting Hare Krishna, speaking about how one advances in chanting and the different stages in chanting. We do get, and it's an observation, we do get, not that these things are not relevant, they're certainly also relevant, but that's machchita katayantas chamam nitya tushyanticha romanticha. So Krishna says, talking about me. And that's what Krishna consciousness movement is about, ultimately, that we're talking about Krishna. And there's unlimited things to discuss, and it certainly brings out that thing which bonds us together, that we're all Nitya Krishna Das. That's where we're equal. We're all Krishna's eternal servants, and we want to develop our eternal spiritual identity. So it is a fact that it's, although, I mean, I know, because I also participate in it, but often devotees have Zoom conferences where they're reading together Chaitanya Charitamrita, where they're talking about Krishna conscious topics, where they're talking about Krishna or reading Krishna books. And that aspect of Krishna consciousness is certainly very important. It really does heal a lot of things, just like kirtan. When you have an ecstatic kirtan, especially going for hours and hours, all the problems are gone, all the disagreements are gone. The only thing is that, we're just together and chanting. And therefore, Srila Prabhupada would, often say, okay, enough. I mean, he would, give classes. Prabhupada's classes went from 20 to 30 minutes. That was sort of, because anyway, we were sleeping through it, most of it. Sometimes, the boys were fanning Prabhupada and would just like fall over. Prabhupada pretended like nothing happened, just continued talking. Good thing it didn't fall on Prabhupada. And, but that's our real business. And Srila Prabhupada would say, okay, now just chant. Because that was one thing that we could really do, and the devotees were really enthusiastic about.